HDSLR Shooter, your source for news from NAB 2014. Brought to you by Adobe, Animas, Blackmagic Design, and Carl Zeiss.
Hi, Clint with HDSLR Shooter. I'm here with Patrick of Adobe. And Patrick, talk to me a little bit about, there's going to be a major update to Adobe Creative Cloud. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Indeed, we're showing the next major update of Creative Cloud for video, all the products we use. So that starts with Story, Preload, goes to Premiere Pro, After Effects, SpeedGrade, Media Encoder. All the products have major update coming. We're hugely excited about seeing the industry trend here being Ultra HD, because if you look at the line of our products, we're certainly ready embracing high resolution. We've been there for a number of years doing 4K, 5K, 6K, quite frankly. So that's one of the great things to see here at the show. And we have fantastic workflow integration updates to really all of the products across the board.
So specifically, let's talk about maybe Premiere.
In Premiere, for example, we've seen that a lot of people use the After Effects dynamic link workflow quite a bit, but when it comes to working with something as simple as lower thirds, having a really great After Effects template, but going back to After Effects, making changes, it's time consuming. So we figured, hey, why not actually bring some of that great technology we got in After Effects and use a very simple way to interface with it in Premiere Pro. And that's one of the great things we're showing here at the show. So you have a great animated lower thirds, and in Premiere itself, you can just click on that and then change the name, for example, of the presenter that's there, or the guy who's coming down your ski ramp, whatever it is. Live sports, obviously a great example for that. So you just quickly make that change, and it's basically really just a text entry you're going to change instead of going into the full list of comp, which might be overwhelming. So you can really have an assistant doing that work now. Hugely exciting, huge time saver.
In After Effects, what are we going to see new in After Effects?
Well, the news in After Effects are mostly actually attached to what we're doing with Premiere. So you might have seen already that Premiere now has fantastic technology for masking and tracking. And the improvements we made bringing that technology to Premiere are actually coming from After Effects, and After Effects at the same time is benefiting from it. In a number of ways, actually. If you start tracking a mask in Premiere, you can actually then go to After Effects and use that same masking and tracking there. At the same time, that means we made for a very simplified workflow using masking and tracking on an assignment basis in After Effects itself. So once the mask and the track is there, you can actually assign that to about any effect in the project. And again, very, very well linked to the workflow in Premiere. Again, it's about saving time, making sure things are getting easier, and wherever you're coming from with your skill set, if your skill set is mostly about editing, we'll present you the same technology in a really simple and easy to use way once you're doing work in Premiere.
There's also been some updates to SpeedGrade. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely, and we're singing the same song there. It's really all about integration now. So we've done work to make sure that the direct link workflow, which we only introduced some 6 months ago, and it's really seeing huge adoption. We're bringing lots more tools that will make sure, while we keep the edit exactly the same as it is, because we never want to touch it in grading, really, we add lots of small improvements, like being able to turn adjustment layers on and off, being able to turn the lumetri effect on and off, or if it's been turned off in Premiere. That used to be a problem, which we encountered now that it's live for 6 months, and while talking to users, people just want to have all the flexibility that's possible, and we're bringing that with this new update to SpeedGrade, as well as some other, I think, most welcome additions, especially in the broadcast world. We're extending quite a bit, no longer really being about film, if you will. Obviously, we appreciate all of that business, but it's great to see with the adoption. I think in the last year, Creative Cloud for Video in general had more than 80 new broadcast accounts. As you can imagine, they want proper monitoring, so we've done a lot of work to make sure we have the SpeedGrade scopes updated to really meet broadcast standards and be ready for prime time.
People want to find out more, or they want to find out more about what do they do?
You can easily find out more by going to the product blogs. We have blog posts for Premiere, for After Effects, for SpeedGrade. You can find out more by going to Adobe TV. We also have a channel that is actually bringing news from the show to you. There are also great overviews of all the products, including Preload, After Effects, Premiere Pro, AME, you name it. So the entire lineup is actually there for you. You can just gather more information. We'll add more as we go.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thanks for your time.
HDSLR Shooter, your source for news from NAB 2014. Brought to you by Adobe, Animas, Blackmagic Design, and Carl Zeiss.